Sword Art Online is the ultimate example of how not to make an anime series. It's a masterclass in wasted potential, a show that promises a groundbreaking exploration of virtual worlds but instead collapses under its own ambition. The story constantly overpromises and underdelivers, introducing interesting ideas only to abandon them halfway through. Its characters are flat, one-dimensional, and painfully uninteresting, making it hard for viewers to care about their struggles or relationships. Even worse, the writing feels careless, as if the author never took the time to research the concepts he was working with or plan the story's direction in advance. The result is an inconsistent, shallow mess that squanders what could have been one of the most exciting premises in modern anime. It's honestly baffling how anyone could actually like Sword Art Online. People who enjoy it must have never seen anything else, because there's so much better stuff out there. I'd honestly rather watch my life as Inukai-san's dog instead, and I hate dogs. The Sword Art Online fanbase is somehow even worse than the show itself. They don't just attack people who criticize it, they also turn on each other. The community is incredibly toxic and unwelcoming, so it's best to avoid interacting with them altogether if you value your sanity. If you want to watch a good movie about characters trapped in a virtual reality game who have to beat it to escape, don't waste your time with Sword Art Online. Check out Tron Legacy instead. This movie is awesome. The visuals are stunning and still hold up today. The soundtrack is incredible, and overall it's just a genuinely fun experience from start to finish. Tron Legacy does everything right that Sword Art Online completely fails at. Where Tron Legacy builds a believable, visually stunning world filled with style, atmosphere, and genuine emotion, Sword Art Online fumbles every single opportunity it gets. It tries so hard to be deep and meaningful, but ends up feeling shallow and childish. The writing is lazy, the pacing is awful, and the characters act like they were pulled from the most generic anime generator imaginable. Tron Legacy knows exactly what it is. A sleek, stylish sci-fi adventure with heart, energy, and purpose. Sword Art Online, on the other hand, doesn't seem to know what it wants to be. It stumbles between bad romance, empty action scenes, and awkward fan service, hoping no one notices how hollow it all is. There's absolutely no reason anyone should waste their time watching Sword Art Online when a movie like Tron Legacy exists and proves how this concept can actually be done right.
Tron Legacy is an amazing movie. It's everything that the Aincrad arc of Sword Art Online should have been. In this video, let's take a look at why Tron Legacy worked and Sword Art Online failed. Right away in the opening scene, Tron Legacy is already much better than Sword Art Online, because it delivers on what was promised, and then some. Kevin tells Sam about disc battles and light cycle races. We actually get to see those later, and a lot more. That's not the case when it comes to Sword Art Online. There was supposed to be 100 floors in total, and we only got to see a handful of them due to all the time skips. Furthermore, the story ended prematurely, and they stopped after floor 75 was completed. If you're setting something up, then you have to make sure to pay it off later. Otherwise, don't bother mentioning it, because people are just gonna be disappointed when it doesn't happen. If Sword Art Online was only supposed to be 10 floors in total, then people wouldn't get upset if they saw 10 floors. But we were promised 100 floors, so people are gonna feel let down. When the anime fails to live up to that, Sam enters the grid, and you can recognize straight away that this movie has a unique style. You can instantly tell that you're watching Tron Legacy, not Ready Player One, not Free Guy, not Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, not Spy Kids 3D Game Over, not The Matrix, not Gamer. There's nothing memorable about Sword Art Online. It's a copy and paste of every other medieval fantasy isekai anime out there. It kind of all blends together because of how dull it is. If you want to succeed, then you need to create a truly unforgettable experience. For instance, tons of people love James Cameron's Avatar, and they watched it countless times. It's an experience like no other. Escapism at its finest. There's even a condition called post-Avatar depression syndrome. People are very sad that Pandora isn't real. Tron Legacy has a similar effect as Avatar. A lot of people wish that the grid was real. Nobody is going to mistake Tron Legacy for another movie, but they could easily mistake Sword Art Online for a bunch of other anime. The costume design is another aspect that Tron Legacy excels at. Again, it's distinctive. You can take one look and it's apparent that you're watching Tron Legacy. The costume design in Sword Art Online is very monotonous. Kirito dresses the same way as a bunch of other other isekai harem protagonists. Can you immediately tell which one of the characters in this picture is Kirito? It's a trick question. None of them are Kirito, but I bet you weren't able to spot the difference. The disc war scene is incredible. You won't find anything like this in another movie. The fight scenes in Sword Art Online have all been done before in other movies or anime, and done much better. Why do I need to watch Sword Art Online? Oh yeah, I don't. They attempted to do something different for the Phantom Bullet arc by giving Kirito a photon sword, but that's just copying the lightsabers from Star Wars. So yet again it's been done before, and done much better elsewhere. The light cycle battle is another stunning sequence. It's different from what you've seen before. Sure, other movies and shows have motorcycle scenes, but not like this. The light cycle battle is in a class of its own. There's nothing like that in Sword Art Online. It's the same as a bunch of other anime that came before and after it. Log Horizon, Dot Hack, Overlord, The King's Avatar, Bofuri, and Infinite Dendrogram exist. Sam and Kevin reunite after 20 years. You can feel the emotional impact due to how well the characters are acted. They can even make an exposition scene like this sound interesting. You don't get anything like that in Sword Art Online. The exposition scenes are so boring. Kevin explains Clue's motivations. You can see where Clue is coming from and understand why he's doing all of this. He was programmed to create the perfect system, so from his point of view he's doing the right thing. He doesn't see himself as the villain. When it comes to Sword Art Online, the main antagonist Akihiko Kaiba literally forgot why he did all of this. Is that a joke? The author has to be trolling us, right? That can't be real. Imagine suffering through 14 episodes of this god-awful show to find out why the bad guy did it, and all you get is, I don't know, I forgot. When creating a story, you have to make sure to give your characters a good reason to do what they're doing. Otherwise, there's no point in anything. Even the SAO Abridged series created by Something Witty Entertainment understood this aspect, and they gave Akihiko a believable motive. A fan-made parody is superior to the real thing. The author of Sword Art Online should be embarrassed. And here's something else that Tron Legacy does better than Sword Art Online. The characters in Tron Legacy aren't insanely overpowered. They actually lose fights. In Sword Art Online, Kirito is a Gary Stew. The only way that he can lose a fight is if the opponent cheats, which further proves how overpowered he is. It's impossible to beat Kirito fair and square. Kirito literally wills himself back to life due to the power of love in one scene. Furthermore, the characters in Sword Art Online are so bland. Kirito has no personality whatsoever. He's a blank slate, which I guess is intentional, so that viewers can self-insert themselves and pretend to be him. This chase sequence is fantastic. There are plane scenes in other movies and shows, but not like this. Kevin sacrifices himself so that Sam and Korra can escape. This self-sacrifice is a lot better than anything in Sword Art Online, because Kevin isn't coming back to life. In Sword Art Online, Asuna sacrificed herself to protect Kirito, but then 2 minutes later we find out that she's not actually dead, so there was nothing to be sad about. Tron Legacy also doesn't bite off more than it can chew, and it stays focused on the objective. Sword Art Online failed to take advantage of its great premise. It was supposed to be an epic story about surviving a deadly virtual reality game, but instead it's a slice of life romance that simply takes place inside a video game. That's not what people wanted at all. It's the same reason why Halloween Ends is hated. It was supposed to be an epic battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, but instead of that it's a melodramatic romance story. The main focus of Sword Art Online should have been about surviving the game, but that's not the case. There were so many pointless subplots that didn't go anywhere, and it felt more like filler. The author of Sword Art Online has admitted in various interviews that he didn't plan anything out beforehand, and he just makes stuff up as he goes along. No wonder why Sword Art Online turned out to be a big disaster in the end. Planning is a crucial step, and you're doomed to fail if you don't do it. Look at what happened with the Star Wars sequels. They also didn't plan things out beforehand, and the end result was not very good, to say the least. There's 100 floors in Sword Art Online, but they skipped over at least 90% of the content, and crammed more than 2 years worth of story into 14 episodes. Then the entire arc is abandoned, and it somehow gets even worse. I'm not gonna go into the Fairy Dance arc in this video, because that's so terrible I could easily make several videos on that arc alone. Yeah, sure, the progressive movies exist, but they made the same exact mistake. The second progressive movie skipped a bunch of floors yet again, even though the whole point of progressive is to not skip any floors. They didn't learn from their mistakes at all, and don't deserve a second chance. Apparently the skip is due to an overarching storyline not completed yet in the light novels, but if that's the case, then they can just wait until it's done, instead of rushing out a sequel the next year. Is that really so hard to do? You can clearly see that they just want to make a quick buck, and they don't care about telling a good story. What are they gonna do when the storyline is done in the light novels? Are they gonna reboot it again or something? This is just one huge mess. It's an even bigger disaster than Universal's Dark Universe. The Sword Art Online anime series had everything going for it, but it turned out to be a monumental failure, and nowadays it's considered to be a laughingstock among the anime community. I don't feel bad about that. Sword Art Online deserves to be ridiculed, especially because the fanbase is so terrible as well, but that's a story for another time. As you can see, Tron Legacy is far superior to Sword Art Online in every aspect. It succeeds where Sword Art Online fails. Tron Legacy has a fantastic story, great acting, outstanding visual effects, touching themes, and awesome music. Sword Art Online wishes it was half as good. Tron Legacy is severely underrated. It should be way more popular than it currently is. I don't understand how Sword Art Online became so big, and Tron Legacy didn't find that big of an audience. The visual effects in Tron Legacy still hold up to this day, and it honestly looks a lot better than recent movies. They're in the process of making a third Tron movie starring Jared Leto, called Tron Ares, so I'm eager to see what they do next. We need more Tron and a lot less of Sword Art Online. Hopefully it won't be a total disaster. Even if it is bad, I'm sure that it'll be a lot better than Sword Art Online at the very least. It would be very hard to make something worse than Sword Art Online. Even Jared Leto's previous movie, Morbius, is genuinely much better than Sword Art Online. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.
Sam gets unknowingly transported into the grid, the same virtual reality world where his father Kevin has been trapped for the past 20 years. Together with fearless warrior Korra, Kevin and Sam try to escape via a portal that will close soon. However, they have to make it past Kevin's evil digital doppelganger, Clue. Dying in the grid also means dying in real life. If you were in these characters' positions, what should you do? How can you survive, defeat Clue, and escape the grid? In this video, I'll break down the Tron Legacy movie, explain all the mistakes made, see if I can make better decisions than the characters, and ultimately try to beat Clue and the death game. Let's get started. The movie begins in the year 1989. The CEO of Encom and video game icon, Kevin Flynn, tells his son Sam a bedtime story about the grid. Kevin has to go to work, but then he mysteriously disappears. There's a 20-year time skip. Sam is now the biggest shareholder in Encom. One night, Sam breaks into the Encom building and releases the company's signature operating system online for free. Sam escapes by parachuting off the roof of the building to the street below. I feel like this was totally unnecessary. Sam technically owns the Encom company since he's the biggest shareholder, so he didn't steal anything. Even if Sam did break the law, there's only one security guard in the building, so Sam could easily avoid getting caught by him. Then he could just go to the bottom floor and walk out the door like a normal person. Sam gets arrested, but is released from jail and returns to his apartment where he meets his father's friend, Alan Bradley. Alan informs Sam that he got a message from Kevin's office at the arcade. That number has been disconnected for 20 years. Sam visits the arcade and discovers a hidden room behind the Tron game. Sam enters the room and he accidentally activates a large laser, which digitizes him and transports him into the grid, a virtual world created by Kevin. Sam gets captured since he doesn't have a disc. One way to avoid getting captured is to not immediately run outside. Sam could have just tried looking through the window and observing his surroundings first. Sam gets restrained, but maybe if he slipped his shoes off, he could escape. Sam is given a change of clothes and an identity disc. Everything he does and learns will be imprinted on the disc. If Sam loses his disc or fails to follow command, he'll be subject to immediate de-resolution. Sam is sent to the games, and he has to fight another program in a game called Disc Wars, which is like a combination of dodgeball and ultimate frisbee. Getting hit by an opponent's disc or falling from the arena will cause a program to immediately de-res and lose. We see that you can knock out the floor panels by hitting it with your disc, so an easy way to beat your opponent is to destroy all the floor panels on their side of the arena so they fall to their death, since they have nothing to stand on anymore. Sam wins the first battle, and then he has to fight another program. He also wins that battle by quickly rebounding their disc right back at them. Sam tries to escape, but he falls into another arena. This time, Sam has to face off against a mass program named Rinsler, who has 2 discs instead of 1. There's not much Sam can do to win, since he's at a big disadvantage, and he's not as experienced as Rinsler. All Sam can try is to dodge the discs and hope not to get hit. During the fight, Sam got injured and he starts bleeding. Rinsler is about to kill Sam, but he realizes that he's a user. Sam announces his name to the crowd and that he's not a program. So Rinsler brings Sam to Clue, the grid's corrupt ruling program, who looks like a young Kevin. Sam should have immediately realized that this wasn't actually his father. Kevin told Sam about Clue during the bedtime story and explained that he created Clue in his own image. Kevin even showed Sam what Clue looked like. Clue doesn't allow Sam to leave the grid, and he challenges him to a light cycle battle. Sam is experienced in riding motorcycles, so he should do a lot better here than Disc Wars. Clue's bike is faster than Sam's bike, so there's no point trying to outpace him. Sam needs to find alternate ways to win and beat Clue. You can hit other programs and tamper with their bike, so Sam should let Clue get close to him and try doing that. The racetrack also has several different levels, so Sam should use those to his advantage. If he can get the drop on Clue, Sam can use his bike's ribbon to take him out. Moreover, Sam should be working together with his teammates. They're all getting picked off one by one, so they would have a much better chance of surviving if they teamed up against Clue. Sam and his teammates could crush Clue in their bike ribbons. Clue destroys Sam's bike and nearly kills him, but Cora drives into the grid and causes Clue to crash. Sam should have taken the opportunity to kill Clue. He was weak after the crash and didn't have his disc, so he couldn't defend himself if Sam attacked him. We also know that losing a disc will result in an immediate de-resolution, so Sam could have just taken Clue's disc, which would cause Clue to de-res. Sam gets into Cora's vehicle and escapes with her. Sam is pretty quick to trust Cora. If I was in Sam's position, I would be a lot more skeptical, and I would try and get out of the vehicle unless Cora tells me exactly what's going on and where we are going. Clue's henchmen can't chase Sam and Cora since their vehicles aren't designed to go off-grid. Cora brings Sam to Kevin's hideout, and he's finally reunited with his father. Sam shouldn't be so quick to trust Kevin either. It could be another trick like what happened with Clue earlier. It's been 20 years, so Sam wouldn't know what his father looks like today. He should first ask Kevin a bunch of personal questions that only he would know. If Kevin answers correctly, then believe him. If not, then you know he's a fake. At dinner, Kevin explains that he designed Clue to create a perfect world, and he also brought Tron to protect the grid. But something unexpected happened. A species of naturally occurring isomorphic algorithms. However, Clue betrayed Kevin and destroyed all the isomorphic algorithms since he saw them as imperfections in an event known as the Purge. Kevin tried to fight Clue, but the more he fought, the more powerful Clue became. Kevin attempted to get back to the real world, but the portal that permitted travel between the two worlds closed since it wasn't able to stay open for too long, and he was permanently trapped inside the grid. That's why Kevin never came home. If the only way out of the grid is through the portal, then maybe Kevin should have told someone about it in the real world. We know that Kevin trusts Alan, so he could have explained this information to Alan in case he ever got stuck inside the grid. Then Alan could just simply keep the portal open from the other side. The portal can only be opened from the outside like a safe, and Clue lured Sam into the grid so that he would reopen the portal. How did Clue know what Alan's pager number was? And how did he send a pager to Alan in the real world from inside the grid? Anyway, we find out that the portal will only be open for about 8 hours. Kevin's disc is the master key, and if Clue obtains it, he can go to the real world. Once Kevin is on the grid, Clue will stop at nothing to obtain his disc. Kevin suggests doing nothing since Clue wants them to make a run for the portal. The only way to win is not to play. Honestly, staying in Kevin's hideout with Cora for the rest of your life doesn't sound too bad. The grid seems like a cool place, and there are certainly worse fictional worlds to live in. Additionally, time works differently here. Hours inside the grid are minutes in the real world, so you would live a longer lifespan inside the grid compared to real life. But Sam wants to get out, so he tells Cora that he'll go through the portal on his own and deal with Clue on the other side. He can take care of Clue in one keystroke. This is a good idea since Clue wants Kevin's discs, not Sam's. Cora tells Sam that she once knew a program named Zeus, who can get anyone anywhere. Sam leaves the hideout and goes to look for Zeus in the city. Why doesn't Cora also go with Sam? We know that Clue wants Kevin's disc, but he doesn't care about Cora, so she would be safe with Sam and can protect him. Clue also doesn't know what Cora looks like since she was wearing a helmet when she rescued Sam during the light cycle battle, so Clue wouldn't be on the lookout for her. In the city, Sam meets a siren named Jem who leads him to a nightclub. Once again, Sam shouldn't be so quick to trust other programs in the grid. They could end up backstabbing Sam, which is exactly what happens to him later in the film. In the meantime, Clue's sentries find Sam's light cycle and they trace its origin to Kevin's hideout. However, Kevin has left with Cora since he went to look for Sam in the city. If Kevin was going to leave the hideout, then he should have just gone along with Sam so they would be together. Sam could have done a better job persuading his father to leave with him. Furthermore, Kevin should have set up a bunch of traps in his hideout. He could have also rigged the hideout to blow up when Clue arrived to kill him. Sam finds Zeus in the nightclub. It turns out he was the owner, Castor. I'm not sure why Sam immediately trusts Castor. How does he know that Castor is actually Zeus? Cora never told Sam what Zeus looked like, so anybody could be Zeus. Moreover, Sam should be wearing a disguise right now because Clue knows what he looks like. Clue's guards attack the nightclub, and it turns out that Zeus and Jem have betrayed Sam. As stated before, Sam shouldn't trust other programs in the grid. Sam is vastly outnumbered, so he can't defeat Clue's guards on his own. Instead of trying to confront them, running away would be a much better option. Luckily, Cora arrives in the nick of time to rescue Sam. Together, they fight Clue's guards, but Cora gets injured and she loses her left arm. Kevin also comes, and the other programs are able to kill the rest of Clue's guards. Why did it take Kevin so long to show up? He came to the nightclub with Cora, so they should have appeared at the same time. And how did Kevin and Cora know that Sam was at this particular nightclub? Sam and Kevin take Cora's body and get into the elevator. Kevin's disc gets stolen. Keeping your disc on your back isn't a good option, especially when it's so easy to pull off. Are you really only allowed to have your disc stuck to your back? It seems like if you're a user, you don't need to always have your disc on you at all times, so you should be able to keep it somewhere safe and secure. Kevin plans to make a full-on sprint to the portal with Sam before Clue can get there. They don't really have any other options. It turns out that Cora is also an isomorphic algorithm, the last one. Kevin is able to reboot Cora's system and her arm grows back. Meanwhile, Zeus tries to bargain bargain with Clue over Kevin's disc. However, Clue just takes it and blows up the nightclub, killing Zeus and Jem in the process. Why are Zeus and Jem just standing there doing nothing? They could have tried escaping. Korra wakes up, but the characters are intercepted by Clue's warship. Korra allows her to get captured by Rinzler as a distraction, and it turns out that Rinzler is actually a repurposed Tron. Korra shouldn't have given herself up. It would have been better if Sam, Kevin, and Korra stuck together to fight against Clue and his army. Sam is able to steal Kevin's disc back while Clue is giving his evil speech. Kevin also takes control of a light fighter. Sam then fights Rinzler and saves Korra. Kevin, Sam, and Korra escape in the light fighter, but they're pursued by Clue, Rinzler, and many more of Clue's guards in light jets. The light fighter has turrets, so Sam should be able to shoot the light jets down. Korra can also use the light fighter's ribbons to make the light jets crash. Sam shoots down a few of the light jets, but the turrets get jammed. However, Rinzler suddenly remembers that he's Tron. Rinzler crashes into Clue's light jet to prevent him from shooting the light fighter. Rinzler should have just shot Clue's light jet down and killed him. Rinzler and Clue fall into the sea of simulation, but Clue takes Rinzler's light jet and continues to chase after Kevin, Sam, and Korra. The characters finally make it to the portal, but Clue got there first, and he's waiting for them. How did Clue get to the portal before the other characters? He was behind them, and the light jets aren't faster than the light fighter. It turns out that Korra switched discs with Kevin, and she gives Kevin's disc to Sam so they can both enter the portal and escape to the real world together. Kevin reintegrates with Clue and destroys them both. This was totally unnecessary. I feel like the characters could have easily beaten Clue if they all worked together. It was 3 against 1. I know that Clue is pretty powerful, but they could just push him over the edge. If Kevin didn't sacrifice himself, then he could have made it back to the real world with his son. Or Kevin and Korra could have held Clue off and simply waited for Sam to go to the real world, delete Clue from the outside, and open the portal again so they can escape as well. Sam should be able to delete Clue pretty quickly, and then open the portal again to allow Kevin and Korra to come through to the real world. Kevin has godlike powers inside the grid, so it shouldn't be too hard to keep Clue busy. Additionally, Kevin could have tried reprogramming Clue to not be evil. Kevin created the grid and all the programs inside it, so he should know how to adjust Clue's settings as well. That way, you don't have to fight Clue, and neither of them has to die. In the real world, Sam transfers the system to his phone and deactivates it. I don't think that Clue's plan of escaping to the real world would have worked. How would his huge army fit in that tiny room? Sam tells Alan that he plans to retake control of Encom, and he makes Alan the chairman of the board. Korra is waiting outside for Sam. If Korra can exist in the real world, then maybe Sam can also rebuild a digital version of his father in the real world. Finally, the movie ends with Sam and Korra riding off on Sam's motorcycle. Korra is able to witness and experience her first real sunrise. And that's how to beat Clue and the death game in Tron Legacy. Do you have any better strategies or methods? If so, let me know in the comments below. What did you think of Tron Legacy? I personally thought that it was pretty awesome. The visual effects were great, the soundtrack was really good, and the movie overall was very entertaining to watch. I'm definitely looking forward to the sequel. What movie should I do next? Leave a suggestion. Be sure to also check out some of the other How to Beat videos on this channel. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a future upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.